Hello everyone. If you watched a previous video of mine, the second one where I let the YouTube algorithm decide what I'm going to make, you may have remembered that I said that this hat was too big. And then I mentioned if I wanted to shrink it, I would probably just have to throw it into the dryer because it's wool. Well, I think today I'm going to actually do that. Most of the time when you wash like a woolen object, there's special care instructions, and like Wool 101 is basically you don't throw any wool items in the dryer unless you want it to be felted because the yarn fibers get agitated, and then when you add the agitation and then you add the heat as it dries, it shrinks. And that's how you get that. Well, I finally knitted an object that I don't care if it shrinks. So we're going to see what happens if I try to felt this bad boy. And on the day that I'm filming this is Thursday, which currently means that it's laundry day. It's literally, I spend the last night before I get ready for work doing laundry. Usually I wait a little bit too far into the night to get started, kind of like what I did tonight. But we're going to wash that bad boy and see, does it actually shrink enough to fit my head perfectly? And if it shrinks too much, well, I work with lots of people who have smaller heads than I do, so it'll probably fit one of them. And if it doesn't shrink, well, I also work with plenty of people who have heads bigger than mine, and it could possibly fit them. So either way, it's not really a big deal whether it works or not. But I'm just curious as to whether it would work. So we're going to see. All right. We are down in the laundry room. We have the hat, and we are going to throw it in the washer. Boom. And we're going to start washing this bad boy. All right. The washer is done, which means it's time to go through my laundry to find out where the hat is and see how it fared. Oh, I forget. I don't think leggings can go in the dryer. Maybe they can, maybe they can't. Let's at least not try it with a brand new set of leggings, right? I don't want the leggings to shrink. I want the hat to shrink. Aha! Here's the hat. And, oh man, it smells. It really smells. But also, it's still like kind of damp. But because I took out the thing that could potentially like shrink, that means I can put this on medium heat, or at least like the easy care and not necessarily delicates, so that way it can do the shrinky thing. So we're gonna get that going now. All right, now it's time for the moment of truth. The laundry is done, or at least the load that had that hat in it is done, and we're going to see what happened to the hat. Pull out the items one at a time, and we have the hat. It's a bit staticky. Slightly smaller, but overall still too big. At least, like, it somewhat worked. Yeah, it's a little bit tighter, but overall it's still too big. I guess I'm looking for someone with a bigger head at work now, maybe. Or I just need to grow out more hair, but I don't see that happening for a while. Not while I'm still dyeing it, and not while I'm still working at a place with conveyor belts. Okay, so it's been a week. I brought the hat into work, and I got a couple people with bigger heads than me to try it on, and it was still comically big on them. And considering that one of them told me good luck finding a head bigger than mine, it's safe to say I made the hat a little bit too big, just a tad. you know, so. But then when I was talking with Mom about the process that I took in order to get the hat to shrink down, it turns out that I wasn't fiddling enough with the different controls on the washer and dryer. So just out of habit, like with the dryer, I keep the clothes on easy dry or easy care, which is not what I want to do with the hat. I didn't want easy care with the hat. I wanted all the things, so I would have to put it onto cotton, and I would have to do it with a different load with just like towels. And then also with the washer, I don't tend to look at the different options. I just turn it to the first available options, like, yeah, that's good, and then we'll go. So we're gonna have to explore the different options on the washer and the dryer, and then decide which one's best. All right, so I got the hat here. I'm gonna toss the hat back in. And now we're gonna have to go through the process of turning on the washer, which has been a bit finicky in the past week. So it turns out you gotta put the outlet tester in, take the outlet tester out, and then that's how that's gonna turn on. Yeah. So we have all these different options here. Usually I just turn it and it goes to cotton normal. So we got permanent press, delicates, hand wash wool, and speed wash. And then we got what's called the steam cycle, so bulky and large, sanitary, allergene, and tub clean, which, I mean, the stuff in this, in the steam thing seems like it'd be more aggressive, but I actually want it to like, what's it called? Like, I want to agitate this as much as possible, and I don't think I'm gonna get that agitation with steam as much as I am gonna with like wet dripping water, you know? So I think I'm gonna leave, well, I'm going to leave it on cotton and normal, but then there's these other buttons that I never ever touch. So it's the wash temperature. We're going to move it to extra hot. Oh, it won't let me. What if I do permanent press? No? I want delegates. What's speed wash? Well, it won't give me extra hot. Haha! I just changed the spin speed to super fast. I guess the soil level is fine. So we'll just start it, even though I don't entirely know what I'm talking about here. But we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. The load in the washer has gone through, and it is time to see the damage. There you go. Let's see here. Oh, it does still appear to be wet. That is good. And this is slightly wetter than last time. Oh, it looks like I may have to weave some ends back in though. And now it's time to mess with some of the settings on the dryer. So up here, we're going to switch it to cottons. Go to more dry. And see how that goes. Alright, in today's terrible case of timing, I opened up a lollipop not realizing the wash was done. So please excuse me as I keep this in my mouth because I don't see any safe place to put this down. But the dryer is done. And we're gonna take everything out, and here's the hat, and oh my gosh, it is now so pilly. And it is still too big. We still got like that loose gap, and I think I just made it look worse. I gotta like, no, I mean, I did felt it. It didn't work in the way I wanted to. I did like somewhat felt it. I'm gonna have to like roll a lint roller over this. I guess I'll see how it looks after I do the lint roller bit on it, okay? Alright, so I can't sleep, so now's the time we're going to use to put the lint roller on this baby, which I probably should have done a while ago, but see if it actually does anything. I mean, it's picking up stuff, you can see. It's making it look slightly better, but not really by much, honestly. No, I've been thinking about why this didn't shrink in the wash, because I believed that wool would shrink, and I'm surprised that it didn't. But then I remember, like, I read a book recently that, like, superwash wool's a thing where they make wool that doesn't shrink in the thing, and honestly, if I roll the yarn into a ball, I don't tend to keep the paper that goes around the yarn, because why would I? Maybe I should start doing that. Oh well. So I have no idea if I made this using superwash wool or not. And if I made it using superwash wool, well then that's why it wouldn't work. Anyway, I think I would say probably the big lesson I learned with this is to follow freaking gauge. Although, lesson implies that I would actually, like, make sure that it's something that I do in the future, which, quite honestly, I don't think it's something I'm going to do, at least not anytime soon. So, I mean, technically it's a lesson, but it's not really what I'm following, so... Yeah, we have a hat that is too big. So I think if I were to make this again, well, I would probably... I think if I were to make the interlock hat again, this portion of it, I would use like a stretchier yarn, like a more elastic yarn, one that bends the shape back, so that way it would like go, and I'd probably use less stitches as well. And then maybe find a different part for this thing, because I think this is taking up a lot of the part that like stretches up right here. Anyway, that was today's entertainment. Have a nice day.